morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Yucaipa. We're so glad that you're here. And you braved the weather and all the rain and all of that. Welcome. You want to stand and join us in our opening song. It's You Are Welcome Here. Notice that there are words listed in your bulletin, so you can choose to use the PowerPoints or your words in the bulletin.
There is a space in my heart. I find the truth, I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, you bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself, or where you come from, yeah, there is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. I see with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself, or where you come from, yeah, there is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out, slowly feel all that's around you, all that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. We unite. When we unite. Yeah. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Woo! Such a great song. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I am Denise. I am the board president and also your platform assistant for today. And if you could please silence your cell phones, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if you are here for the first time, we have these little green connection cards in the pocket of the pew in front of you. Please fill them out so we can stay connected with you and so we can tell you about the events that are coming up at Unity of Yucaipa. And when the offertory basket comes around, you can stick it in there. That would be great. And if you please refer to your screen, we'll start off with our unity affirmations. These are who we are as a church. So the first one is our church. Get together.
Unity of Yucaipa offers a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. Unity honors the universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path.
Our mission. We create and support a prosperous, vibrant spiritual community that fosters transformation and teaches universal spiritual principles, inspiring people to make a positive difference in their lives, families, communities, and in our world. And I don't see Annie, but so I'll just go ahead and be the chaplain for today, and we'll read the daily word. Right here, so she's back here. So we'll let Annie do it. Poor Denise. It's gonna. Oh, here it is. Okay, let's all say.
The daily word for today is Epiphany, and it comes from Isaiah 61, which is, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you." The affirmation is, "Today I greet new possibilities now born in me." According to the Gospel of Matthew, Epiphany represents the arrival of the three magi in Bethlehem, scholars and priests who traveled from the east, following a star to greet the new Christ energy. They were the first to recognize the newborn child as divine love in expression. Epiphany is a timely reminder to recognize the same Christ present in myself. My awareness may feel as small and tentative as a baby at first, but with time and attention, it becomes a part of my being. I am continuously connected to Spirit, one with a higher power far greater than my human self. With this in mind, I discover more of my expanded spiritual purpose as I greet new possibilities now born in me. So let's all say the affirmation together. Today I greet new possibilities now born in me. Now we have prayer slips in front of you in the pews. If you have a prayer in your heart or mind, just fill those papers out, put them in the prayer box behind you, or just stick them in the offertory bags when we take offertory. We pray over it, and then Silent Unity prays over it for another 30 days, so it's a win-win situation. There's also an app you can get for your smartphone that's called You Pray. So if you want to go that route, you can do that. So now let's say, Our Father,
Yes.
who art
In heaven,
in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
And Denise.
All right. We're going to head into the pre-meditation portion of this, and we're going to do it a little differently. Deanna has a beautiful meditation she wants to do in a special service that we have. It's a white stone. So it'll be coming up later and getting your stones and then coming up with an affirmation or an idea that you'd like to, an intention that you set for the year. And so as a part of this, there's a very nice, sweet Navajo poem that Karen Drucker revised and put into music that's like an affirmation. It's like a chant. So instead of that, of having a meditation, we're going to do this chant. So you can sit in your seats, get comfortable, and the words are in the bulletin. They're also up on the screen.
in loving kindness. May I walk, may I walk, may I walk in peace, in peace. May I walk in peace, in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in peace. May I walk in peace, in peace. May I walk in peace, in peace. May you walk, always walk in peace, in peace. May we walk in peace, in peace. May I walk with loving kindness, in peace, in love. May you walk in joy.
All right, so if we can have the lights on, and we're going to start the congregational singing. And again, they are shown up on the screen, and we now have them printed in your bulletin in case you can't see the screen or there's something that's obstructing the way. So please join us. Our first congregational singing is I Expect the Best. It's a song written by a minister, a Unity minister named Richard McDecky.
I open my eyes, greet the new day, take a deep breath, kneel down to pray. Then I give thanks, look in the mirror, and a friend looks back at me. A smile lights up my face, and I know that I am blessed. So I expect the best. I expect the best. I know that I'm loved right where I stand. I know I'm enough just as I am. All that I want, all I desire is I'm waiting here for me. The universe conspires to ensure my happiness. So I expect the best. I expect the best. I expect the best from every
is Go Out and Shine. It's written by Sue Riley. This is when you can stand up and read if you want. It's up to you.
Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the talk or join the dance. Relax, enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. You got to go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You got to go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart. Wanna change, just make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. Come on, show out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine.
Is it good to have the words in your flat rather than up here? Or you like both? Okay, so we'll continue to do that. Okay, today our speaker is Deanna Joseph, our new minister of this church. I'm just going to turn it over to Deanna.
Okay.
If you don't know Deanna, make sure you come up and talk to her and get to know her.
That would be great. You know, I'm going to use my wireless. I just have to remember to turn it on. I was wondering, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. My husband, who plays guitar in a rock and roll band, came up here yesterday to help me set the sound up for this wireless mic. And you know, a guitar player, when he gets around a sound system, you guys probably found it all different this morning, right?
Yeah.
That was my husband, so blame him. We're going to be doing the white stone ceremony today, and I'm looking at these stones, and they are so beautiful. So thank you, Denise, for finding these for us. Do you know if an ordinary pen can write on these?
It should be pencil or a marker, whatever. Anything that you want will write on them.
Okay.
Perfect.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And they're all a different, unique shape, so you have special stone.
They are different, unique. So I have some wonderful news for you today. Do you know that the same power and presence that put the galaxies into their spin and inspires the wee little acorn to grow into the mighty oak tree, this is the same power and presence that is at work in you right now. And we call that our infinite spirit, the God within us, heaven within. So today, we're 6 days into the new year, and I love the new year. I love all the holidays, but what I love about the new year is that feeling of a fresh start. And I know we can have a fresh start really whenever we want to, but there's just something significant about the beginning of a year. It's kind of like when you decide to prepare your garden and you have your big, plot of land and it's been all tilled and now it's just perfect and waiting for the seeds. It's waiting for whatever seeds you want to plant in there. It is just pure potential in that moment. And that's where we are standing right now. We are in a space of pure potential. right here and now. Now, I like to use this time of year as a time to look back on the previous year. What goals did I set last year at this time? What were my New Year's resolutions for 2018? What did I succeed at? Where did I drop the ball? Did I really want to do something, but I just didn't know how to do it, or I forgot about it, put energy into something else? Like, for those of you who knew me last year at this time, you know one of my New Year's resolutions was to maybe slim down a little bit. And if you knew me last year, you know that right now, I didn't do that at all. Right, so part of what I reevaluate is, okay, what could I do differently? And where did I succeed? And could I apply the steps I took to succeed in something else to something different where I do want to succeed? All right, and so that's why this time of year is so amazing. But we also know that when you think about the garden, okay, the garden is waiting for us to put something in it. Now, a lot of times, I know I have done this, I've looked at the new year and I thought, oh wow, I wonder what's gonna happen. I wonder what the new year is gonna bring me. But we bring it to the year. It is our activities that we take during the year that bring all the experiences and opportunities to us. We wouldn't stand in front of that garden or that big plot of soil waiting for some seeds. We wouldn't stand there and say, well, I wonder what's going to grow. I wonder what amazing things are going to come out of this garden. We wouldn't just hope for a wonderful garden. We would plant some seeds. And so this is why I love New Year's. This is why I love the idea of the fresh start. There is an author named Stephen Covey. You all have heard this quote, I'm sure, a million times. If we keep doing what we're doing, we're gonna keep getting what we're getting. And so during the new year, when we look back over what we did last year and what we really wanted last year, did we change our activities? Did we change what we were doing? Okay. No, not in many cases. I did not change what I was doing. Okay, so I kept getting what I was getting, right? So there are many things that we do that with, that we just don't think about it because we have a habitual way of living. When we don't have those things in our life, those things, those experiences, when those are not in our life, it's because we're not living a life that includes those things. Now, this is why the White Stone ceremony is just such a wonderful ceremony to start the year off with. And right now, all over the country, there are other Unity churches participating in this very same ceremony, okay, the White Stone ceremony. So this, the White Stone is mentioned in the book of Revelation. And you know, the book of Revelation can be a little scary. It's kind of a political rant, but it's also full of hidden messages and symbolism. And the white stone is part of the symbol, right? And so this particular verse, it's kind of a message of renewal and revitalization for us. So I'm going to read it to you. He who has ears, let him hear what the Spirit says. To him who overcomes, I will give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone. And on the stone a new name written, which no man knows except he who receives it. And so I wanted to break this down because this actually is a very powerful symbolic instruction for us. So, he who has ears to hear what the Spirit says. We receive divine guidance all the time. However, the divine guidance we receive is actually usually very, very gentle. It's not pushy. It's not gonna, okay, divine guidance for somebody who maybe wants to eat healthier, divine guidance might sound like, go off sugar, go off flour. It won't sound like, oh my gosh, you're such a loser, you have no willpower, you know you just need to go off sugar. That's not divine guidance. That's our own ego, that's our own fears and limitations. So the reason that we don't hear this divine guidance, this might sound like this, some people may do this, go off sugar, go off flour. Well, that sounds well and good. Well, I could do that. Well, my morning coffee, though, I've got that great creamer. That's not going to count because it's in coffee. It's not even food. So often we hear the voice of Spirit telling us the right thing to do, but it's not what we want to hear. So we just ignore it. We're waiting for what we want to hear, right? Go on the brown sugar diet. Right? We want to hear what we want to hear. So when we're not following that guidance, we don't have the ears to hear. Because divine guidance will always be guiding us to expand out of the person that we are right now. I don't mean literally, okay? I mean, we are expanding our light. We are carrying more light than we can carry right now. All right, so we have to hear, if we hear that, we have to also act on it. So when we hear, with ears to hear, means we're willing to do the hard thing that's going to take us to the next level. Because we're doing what we're doing, we're getting what we're getting, we're used to it, it comes easily. In fact, we're doing it unconsciously. But when we hear with ears to hear, and we are listening to that voice of Spirit, we're no longer acting unconsciously. We are having to step out of our comfort zone. All right, so there's the first part. He who has ears, hear what Spirit says. To him who overcomes, and overcoming, this is really the biggest part of this process, overcoming. We have to overcome our limitation thinking. But most of the limitation thinking we have to overcome is unconscious. We are not aware of how much we're doing it. So I know, okay, in Unity, we love our affirmations. We love affirmations. And I know that everybody here probably does affirmations somewhat regularly. Well, I get up in the morning, I go to a space in my house where I have it all to myself, I can talk out loud, and I do my affirmations. I feel so enthusiastic. I am vitalized by Spirit. I am enjoying feeling all this well-being coursing through my body. Well, after you do something like that for like 20 minutes, you're going to feel really amazing. But then you have to walk out of that room. You might have to get in your car and drive somewhere. You might have to go to work. You might have to be with a group of people. And then this is where the unconscious thinking starts kicking in, right? Somebody may drive by a Starbucks. Well, God, look at all those people in line at Starbucks. And man, I found out, like, seriously, my favorite drink there, the peppermint white mocha, has like an entire bag of sugar in it. It is. When I found that out, and I don't want to give up sugar, but when I found that out, I could not bring myself to drink that coffee ever again. But you know, you're driving by your Starbucks. It's like, man, I'm mad that I can't go there. Look at all those people at my Starbucks getting their coffee. Like, coffee doesn't bother them. And, well, then, so maybe there's some resentment unconsciously. Okay, maybe you're driving along. It's like, man, why do people always cut me off? Why do I have to get up and go to work early? Why don't I get any help from my family doing this stuff? Okay, so maybe there's a little victim consciousness there, unconsciously. Right, so it's the unconscious thinking, the unconscious limitations that we have to overcome. Right, the conscious stuff, we're aware of that. We can work on that. The unconscious stuff, it kind of sneaks up on us. In the book, Prosperity's 10 Commandments by Deanna Tree West, she talks about limitation thinking. And this comes from the third commandment, which we know as do not take the Lord's name in vain. And pretty much we all are like, oh yeah, that just means don't blaspheme, don't do that, that's really bad. But she gave an earlier translation of this commandment. You shall not make wrongful use of the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not acquit anyone who misuses his name. The name of God, of course, is I am. I am, and I am is the name of our indwelling Spirit. So she says, really, the third commandment is about we shall not speak the word of lack or limitation. We shall not speak the word of lack or limitation. This is a blasphemy against us. And we are buying into this wrong idea then of who we are. When we speak the word of lack and limitation, we are believing we are lack and limitation. That we are not enough to do something, that we are not enough to be something. So she says, in order to better understand our constant violation of this third commandment, we must consider the name of God that was delivered to Moses by direct revelation. Spirit revealed itself to Moses as pure being. During Moses' experience of spiritual exaltation, the voice of God resounded through his consciousness, saying, "Thus you shall say to the Israelites, I am has sent me to you." I am is the name of the living, loving, wise power which is pure being, the invisible reality of all that is. I am is also the name of our own indwelling spirit, the invisible image and likeness of God that we are to make manifest as we fulfill the purpose of our existence. Knowing this, we begin to understand that we are constantly creating difficulties in our lives by making the wrong use of the name of God. When we say, I am sick, I am poor, I am anything like that, we are defiling God's name. And the fact that we do it unintentionally makes little difference. Makes a little difference. This is why the Lord will not acquit anyone who misuses his name. Okay, we've done it. We have free will. We're allowed to do that and suffer. Okay, so the Lord will not acquit anyone who misuses his name. We want to overcome that unconscious thinking then, so that we stop speaking words of limitation about who we are and about what we're capable of, because every spoken word makes its way somewhere into our life. Somewhere. It is in our life. Now, if we are living a life right now that does not include the thing we really want or we want to experience, it means we are not living the kind of life that allows that. Somewhere our I ams are not allowing this thing we really desire to come in. Because that I am may sound like, I am tired, I'm fed up, I'm sick of struggling with everything. But see, our I am statements may also be phrased in a why me question. Okay, why do these things always happen to me? God, why did I make this choice now? I'm suffering. And why can't anybody help me? Why is it that other people can do this thing I want to do, but it's so hard for me? Why don't I get to do what I want to do? Why doesn't anything good ever happen to me? Why does my relative, who's a complete moron, win the lottery and I don't get to win the lottery? I'm a nice person. All right, so to him who overcomes, and this is what the overcoming is, but we just have to be willing to acknowledge that somewhere there's some limitation thinking and it's unconscious. That somewhere in our life, if we don't have the things we want to have and want to experience, somewhere in our life, we are buying into the belief that we are limited and that we can't actually do the thing we want to do, or we're not capable of doing the thing we want to do. Okay, so to he who overcomes, I will give to eat of the hidden manna. I will give to eat of the hidden manna. In the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, I think, hidden manna, for manna, is a metaphor for spiritual truth and understanding. But not just any old spiritual truth and understanding, practical spiritual truth and understanding. I know I have taken classes before that I thought, oh, if I take this class, it'll make me so smart, it'll make me super enlightened. And, and it's great while I'm in the class. But for a while, I did spend a lot of time going from class to class to class, thinking the class would make me better. What I was really looking for was the understanding that God works through me, for me, as me. That's how simple this understanding is. It's just remembering who and what we are, who and what we come from. We come from a divine creator. We are created in the image and likeness of our creator. Our creator creates in the universal, and we create just like our creator in our life. And it's not a matter of the creator creates better. It's a matter of degree. Okay, God creates on the whole. We are creating right here. And it's not any worse or better. It's exactly the same, because we are an extension of that source energy. So this is not supposed to be complicated. Our spiritual growth and understanding is not supposed to be complicated. Okay, if we have limitation beliefs somewhere in our life, we need to be reminding ourselves, wait,
I am created in the image and likeness of my Creator. I'm not supposed to be believing that horrible stuff about myself. Okay. This is when we can step into our truth, when we remind ourselves we're created in the image of our Creator. We can step into our truth and let go of that limitation thinking. That's how we start overcoming. That is how we do it. All right, so I will give to him the hidden manna, and I will also give a white stone with a new name that no one else knows. Now this is important because no one else can tell us about our consciousness. No one can tell us what we need to do. We need to experience it by doing this very practical kind of spiritual living, by just reminding ourselves that we are divine in nature because we come from something divine. Nobody else can tell us, just like nobody can describe cheesecake to somebody who's never had cheesecake. I'm sorry for all the food metaphors. Why am I doing this? No, I'm thinking about when my son was little. I can remember the first time he ate cheesecake, and this look on his face, right? The look on his face, it was heaven. It wasn't that look, it was like heaven. But if you got to see the movie Wonder Woman, right? She lived on an island of Amazons, right? So she was a young woman the first time she tasted ice cream, and you could see that in her face. That made me wish I had not ever given my kids ice cream until they were like 10 years old, so they could really appreciate it, right? So we cannot describe this consciousness to somebody else. We cannot make someone else understand. That's why it's not complicated, right? And it's available for us all the time because it's working through us, for us, as us. It's already there. It's already there. Okay, so this white stone will have our new name. Now, what's our old name? Our old name is the old consciousness. Our old name is from that life where we keep doing what we're doing and we keep getting what we're getting. That's our old life. Okay, so then the stone has our new consciousness. What new consciousness do we want to embody? That's our new I am statement. Instead of the, I am tired, I'm confused, I don't know what to do now, why did this bad thing happen to me? Our new consciousness is something like, I am a powerful creative force, I am courage, I am kindness, I am faith, I am balance, I am love, I am power, I am light in expression, I am cosmic expression. Okay, so this is the verse, I'm going to read it to you again. He who has ears, let him hear what the Spirit says. Are we listening and then acting on it? To him who overcomes, I will give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and on the stone a new name written, which no man knows except for the one who receives it. Now you got a set of affirmations. Like a slip that's kind of looks like a bookmarker. Let's say all these affirmations. I kind of turn this verse into a set of affirmations for us, right? The first one's in the affirmation. The second one is a denial, right? You know how we do denials to kind of push away that limitation belief so we can really feel our denial. So let's say this together. The first one. I trust in God and act on divine guidance. All right, now let's do our denial. I release the idea that I'm limited and small, because that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. The same power that put the galaxies into their spin and inspires an acorn that's this big to grow into a gigantic oak tree, that same power is in us, right? The acorn has everything it needs, and galaxies are super huge and full of light, right? That same power is at work in us. So that's ridiculous to think we're limited and small. Now we'll affirm the next one. I have everything within me that I need to make choices that honor my divine nature. Just like that little unicorn, the little acorn. The little acorn has everything inside of it needed to make an oak tree. The little acorn did not have to go take a workshop. The little acorn did not have to go to the acorn store and buy some leaves. Right? The little acorn has everything in it that it needs. The unicorns also have everything that they need. You've heard that quote, always be yourself unless you can be a unicorn. Then always be a unicorn, right? Okay, anyway. Our last affirmation here. I am created in the image and likeness of God. We are created as our Creator. We're just a tiny version, so we can fit in this room together. Okay. So the white stone ceremony helps us to focus on living our life from this point forward through our divine nature. Now, when we live our life through our divine nature, we make choices that honor who we really are. So our life starts expanding to include those things that we would like to see in our lives, include those experiences. Okay, so we're living through our divine nature. Remember, the way of life that we were living last year that kept us from having what we wanted because we kept doing what we were always doing, that way of life is our old name. This is now our new name. So our new name will support us in expanding. Now, the first time I did this ceremony, when I got to take part in it, it was like almost 20 years ago. But I knew some other people who also did this ceremony, and one of the gals got the most beautiful name for her stone, right? It was like Silver Star Water or something like that. I wanted like a beautiful magical name. I did. I really wanted the beautiful magical name, but I didn't get that. But what I would like to suggest is that we're not necessarily maybe getting a name like that, but maybe we're getting a consciousness. What consciousness do we want to embody through this new year so that we're living the life that we want to be living, that is including the things we want to include? And so that might look like faith, courage, clarity, balance, action, divine timing, synchronicity, life, truth. And Denise even mentioned, these are big enough, you could write, I am, and then something on there. You could write, I am courage, I am living in synchronicity. You could write your favorite affirmation. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick meditation, it's not too long, to help you receive that affirmation, okay, or your I am statement or your name. Would you like to get your stone first so you can have it and hold it while you meditate? You want to do that? All right, I see a whole bunch of this, okay? Well, come on up, form a line, come get your stone. And you can take a little bag too. These gorgeous old bags to keep it in. You can walk all around the bowl too if you want to. There's some interesting shapes all over the place. Some real good sizes too. These are so gorgeous, Denise. Thank you.
They're actually tile that you would lay down on the floor. I ripped off the backing to them and scraped off all the glue.
All right, maybe we'll have the lights dimmed. Be kind of nice. And you And just go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Hold your stone. And I would just like you to just feel yourself sitting in your seat, relaxing, just feeling the light flowing through you, coming up through your feet, extending out of your heart, radiating all around you. And then just affirm in your imagination, I am made in the image of God. And God intends for me only good. I am free. I am unlimited. I open to the possibilities that Spirit lays before me. I face my challenges with faith, knowing I move forward on the path God intended for me. And this path is designed to remind me of my divine nature. I think about my previous year, my life on this planet in 2018. And I release any limitations that previously held me prisoner. I am light in a body. A limitation cannot hold me. And now imagine yourself standing in front of a large steel door. And this door looks foreboding, but you reach out and you just push it very gently. You just tap it barely, and it swings wide open. And you look through that doorway, and all you see is bright light. And you step into that light. You feel part of that light. And you feel the joy and the enthusiasm that is filled in the light. Feel the truth that now you are free to express your highest self. You are free to live your highest good. Now imagine your white stone. Feel it in your hand. And know that right now, Spirit is going to give you your new I am for this coming year. As you are relaxed, your name comes gently to you. It will affirm all that you will accomplish in this coming year, all that you are meant to be, do, and express. And when you have your new I am, go ahead and open your eyes. you have trouble receiving your new I am, just trust it will come to you very soon. You'll receive it as a divine download. Okay, it looks like everybody has got their name, writing it down. Okay, so now you have your new name, and you have a reminder of what naturally and easily works through you, for you, as you. This consciousness, whatever you wrote on here, this will work through you all year long, as much as you want it to. All right. So we've got our stones, we have our name for the year. So I guess that wraps up my portion of this now. So I just want to remind you, until next time, until I see you, remember that you are a divine child of a loving creator. You are a force for good. You have something working through you, for you, as you, that cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped. In everything you do, you are blessed, and so it is. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. So now we do